riding the rails with diesel and steam. It's partly cloudy. We're at Heber Valley Railroad, known as the Heber Creeper. Unfortunately, the steam locomotives where we're going to plan to see here at this tourist railroad, they weren't in operation during the FRA boiler inspection. So I wanted to see the Great Western number 75, known as the Breakard Pass engine number 9. So they've got quite a collection here. I think this 060 switcher number 300 worked for the USS Egyptian plant. It looks very nice in its nice paint. The people really did a nice job, and volunteers to keep these rolling stock top shape. Sometimes Heber Valley Railroad, sometimes they do photo freights, and these cars will be behind one of their steam locomotives. I guess this Union Pacific caboose is equipped with one of the air horns, Wapco horn. Sometimes they use this caboose for a reverse move, and the horn has to be used. The cameraman noticed some GP9s. It doesn't look like it's from around here. Two of these GP9s came from the Conway Scenic Railroad. One is 52, one is 77. Both wearing the original paint scheme of Maine Central. A long ways from home. A sign for the two of the steam locomotives, the ones that are being worked on. So these are not going to be the ones that are going to be hauling the tourist train today. Oh man, this observation car is in bad shape. Look at the roof. Well, we heard a horn off the distance. Another GP9 is approaching. Huh. The paint scheme almost looks like the Washington Central. Except is the Great Western Railway number 295. Huh. This very GP9 was a former Union Pacific. .296 ran around its consist, so it'd be facing the right direction when they're heading to Provo Canyon. This was originally the Continental route from the 1850s. And when they were surveying this location, it was chosen the right route for the Transcontinental Railroad, and also extended through Weber Canyon, that was eventually chosen, and also the Utah Midland Railroad, which was to have been a subsidiary of the mighty Colorado Midland, had included the Heber in its expansion plans, but like many early railroads, this one was never built. Undaunted of the citizens of the Heber City pushed to have a railroad built into their community. In the spring of 1896, the Denver and Rio Grande Western Railway reorganized in 1899 as the Rio Grande Western began surveying the route through Provo Canyon over the subject of the Tullaroot Power and Transmission Company, which had plans to build an 85-foot-high dam and a reservoir within the canyon to feed its newer power plants. Several court trials followed, but its cause was eventually won by the Rio Grande Western. As a result, the railroad would soon link Heber to the world. Alright, the 296 is gonna make a joint couple to the coaches. And this is gonna be a nice train ride through the scenery countryside. Gives our conductor disconnect the reverse Hancock whistle. Is making sure the coupler is set. Now bring forth the make a joint. Alright, we're on board, and we're departing out of Heber, on our way to Provo Canyon. Except, really, it's Park City. Have you guys ever watched the Breakheart Pass, the movie? You know, some of the equipment that got wrecked in the... I think some of the cars are still around. And I think it's here at Heber. We noticed one of the troop cars. our train is traveling on the new section of the relocated of the main line onto the embankment. It used to be in the center of this lake. Now the old main line is in the bottom of the lake, bottom below. Arrived at Provo Canyon, make a station stop so 296 can make a runaround. We had an unfortunate problems with our camera when we're entering the canyon. It decided to show a dead battery, so it didn't get the train going through the canyon. Except, which sure enough, we're gonna get it when we leave here from the canyon. Well, do you guys know where they got the Heber Creeper, the nickname? Well, from 1972, the Wasatch Mountain Railway gave the following nickname, the Heber Creeper, because it was creeping through the tight corners and curves through the canyon, and it was just creeping along. And that's where they got their the nickname from. Heber Creeper. The one section of the grade out of the Provo Canyon, and the EMD GP9 296 is working hard. A lot of wheels flanging noise on the curve, and this is where the Heber Creeper, the name, came from. Creeping along. this very line goes beyond Provo Canyon. It used to went further. This very line, it went all the way through Echo Canyon to join up with the Union Pacific trackage. And there was other industries along this, down this line, coal mine, and the lumber joint. That they're all gone. They were all disappeared past 1940s, I believe so. Well, Heber Valley Railroad is a good tourist railroad to ride on. There's a lot of good scenery. We had so much fun on this railroad. Now it's time for the next tourist railroad in our list. East Ely, Nevada, known as the Nevada Northern Railroad, a mining railroad. This railroad has a lot of history behind it. The railroad was constructed in 1905 to 1906. They extended northward about 140 miles, 230 kilometers from Ely to connection with the Western Pacific Railroad, Shafter, and the Southern Pacific Railroad. Thing we came to see this railroad is number 40, a 460 wheel type. Most famous, and there's a lot of pictures before and now. A lot of history and motive power in the collections they have. And also the depot. In 1967, NN reported 40 million in net ton miles of revenue freight on 162 miles, 261 kilometers of this line. It's copper. A lot of ton of copper went to interchange with the Western Pacific and Southern Pacific. They were doing a lot of hauling in their passenger trains, in the historic Pullman coaches, wooden coaches. And those wooden coaches are still around. And they gotten left behind. Yeah, as this sat here until the moment of the right time, when they're gonna show their glory once again. I guess a series of corporate financial transactions in the 1920s and 1930s brought the Nevada Consolidated under the control of the Kennecott Copper Corporation. And they faced with a declining ore reserve as low copper, Kennecott closed its Ruth area mines in May 1978 through ending the ore trains between Ruth and McGill smelters, and the smelters closed on June 30th, 1983, and Nevada Northern suspended all operation immediately thereafter. They left the shop complex and the railroad and equipment and rolling stock, and also their steam locomotives sat for a long time. An individual came along on this property, noticed all equipment got left behind and is still in the engine shop. And that's when they started the White Pine Historical Railroad Society. That's when the Kennecott Copper Mining Company decided to sold the property to the White Pine Historical Society with everything in it. And Nevada Northern just came back to life once again. And there is number 40. The old warrior still survived today. Next set of drivers is made for hauling passenger. A 1912 Baldwin locomotive works. Nice looking locomotive. Man, it's nice to see these old wooden coaches in the caboose. They look very nice. And they did a nice job to get them where they're at right now when they did the restoration work on these cars. Number 40 looks very nice from here where we're walking along the freight house platform. There is a really interesting story with number 40, and well, I guess Nevada Northern has a couple MRS-1s. And someone's still marked for the United States Army. I know most of these MRS-1s work for the Alaska Railroad. I know they had a couple of them in their roster. When the Nevada Northern was starting replacing their steam locomotives with diesels, there's about 3 shop foremen hid the locomotive in the back corner of the engine shop. And they didn't want to see their beloved 40 to go to the scrappers. But to hear the kicker, what happened, the number 40 story, the people who wants to scrap number 40 never got a chance to. Because the 3 crew members, or the shop foremen, told the people who was gonna scrap number 40, said it's already been scrapped. So those people who wanted to scrap number 40 never got a chance to. And all this time, the shop foremans saved number 40 from going to the scrappers. So all this time, number 40, it was still here on the property all this time with the other 3 steam locomotives. Alright, here we go. Our train's departing and number 40 is on the head end. So the train is backing out because the original track up ahead of the depot has been ripped up. So there's some section of the tracks that's still there, except not being used. Also, there is a nickname for number 40, known as the Ghost Train. Because the whistle almost sounds like back in the day when there were still running trains in the lift and in the late 40s. Our train is heading to Ruth. It's marked with a red circle on the bottom of the screen. And, gosh, this railroad's sure got a lot of equipment, and there's one oddball car was up nearby that tanker. And these are the original ore cars Nevada Northern used. And there's some coaches on the property. But I recognize this one. It looks like an ex-Union Pacific. And it looked like it belonged to one of their minutes away trains. Yep, definitely. That's the color of their minutes away equipment.
Since being delivered from Pullman in 1910, she has burned one form of fuel, which is coal. The nature of a coal-burning locomotive is that it does spit cinders and ash out of the stack. So do be aware, especially out on the flat car, you may get some ash back on you as we go down the track. And as we go through Bar Tunnel, some of the coal smoke may just make its way into the cars as we go through. Luckily, these are not very long tunnels.
Yep, that's correct, conductor. Yeah, you guys heard him correctly. Number 40 is burning coal. And it still is a coal burner.
And on the left-hand side, you'll see the East Ely Yard, which we are just now leaving. Now, that golf course sits on what is part of the Georgetown Ranch. It was originally named McQuitty Ranch. From 1896 to 1898, a group of Mormons built several log cabins and called their settlement the Georgetown Colony. In November 1902, the New York and Nevada Copper Company bought the Georgetown Ranch.
When number 40 makes its way, it's got to be climbing up a grade before entering the tunnel. So number 40 is going to work hard. Except it's not really pulling much of the cars. Except number 40 is made for pulling passengers. So it's not made for going up grades. It's made for speed. That's why it's got those big set of drivers on the locomotive.
I did mention that we were on the old 4 bypass line. So there's later about a month we have the rights to go down Pullman Street, which is on the street field. However, just as the railroad got down the city fathers, I don't realize what that meant. And asked the railroad to build one street over on Garden Street. The railroad complied. However, during the 1 year it took to build the 10-kilometer track from the courthouse to the bridge, multiple court trains a day were going through downtown, blowing dirt cinders everywhere and generating in the racket. Additionally, the railroad built the depot in the yard and labeled that one year and never built the depot in downtown Philly. So 3 suits were levied against the railway. One, they wanted their own in downtown Ely. Number 2, the town wanted the native of the people in Yard for free for benefits of residents of the community, so that people living in East Ely could easily get to all the shopping needs and then get back home. Not only that, high school students living in Ruth and the Hill would come here to Ely to go to school. And until 1933, the railroad ran school trains to pick the kids up from those communities and bring them to school, and then return them back home at the end of the day. If you look off to the left-hand side, you might see. Now, while it took a rig,
Not too far off. Our number 40 is getting close to the first tunnel.
it took them again
And you can't really hear number 40 working. Except he hasn't spun his drivers yet. So it's doing okay. It's doing alright. You can make it, number 40. Okay, conductor, what are you talking about? Why would someone will reach out and touch the tunnel walls? That is dumb.
The railings of the platform as we go through this tunnel. It might just get a little slow. So I do recommend those sitting on the flat car to face the back of the train as we go through this tunnel. And listen to the engine work as we will be entering a 2-foot grade between our...
Here comes the coal cinders. We all got some on ourselves. That's the neat thing about coal burning locomotives. That was an amazing thing. We sure got covered, and we still got some coal cinders on our shoulders when we left the railroad. Here comes the second one, except this is not a tunnel. Except this is an overpass for the highway. So they made it look like a tunnel. Except this was built in 2003, and I guess it was completed in 2005.
Survival guide from our gift shop. Put out that. I did stamping 5 out of 7 pounds. Constant, balance, perfect. Or also get a stamping gauges. Send in that certificate and you can get that and little certificate saying that you not only survived the journey across the data, or the moment you're throwing in that, but that you have gained survival in doing so. And Crazy Robinson Canyon. In 1869, the Robinson Mining District here in the canyon was organized, and by 1872, different mines were being worked on by a hands-on mining company. Along with Norfolk Company became the mine, which is the gold company now. And now you go on from the mine to the main city. And I'll point out the location. Legend and started putting his brain to work on it. The man's name was Stephen King, and the book he wrote based on our legend was Desperation. So if you have read the book or seen the movie Desperation, you'll see what his very popular adaptation has done with our legend. And on the right-hand side, you can see the name of Rain City, that large structure that Pullman is the old school.
Yes, see the bus up there. Yeah. Well, this is new. This never was here, except it is the ride track at Ruth. In the foreground, that's the mining pit for the Kennecott Copper Mining Company. I guess there used to have been something else here on this track. The conductor explains. return on the Y. We're on our way back to Ely. And I figured the conductor said it used to be a prison camp along with the Kennecott Copper Mining Company. That's the first I ever heard about that. All I know about this was the junction point leading to the mine pit where they load the ore trains. So, I don't know. Except the conductor, I don't know where he's been getting his history. Now, I don't know if that's true or not what he said.
One little interesting thing about locomotive 40 is that she was built to haul 2 4-passenger cars along the flat Steptoe Valley, which is why she has such large driving and why at times coming up the trade you might have been hit too, well, work quite hard, as she does not like to break. However, you sit her on the flat step and she's capable of impressive speeds. While 40 miles an hour was how fast we ran back in the day, if they were late, they would make us back. As the story goes, in the 1950s and 60s, one time they were running a freighter north on a excursion line, and one of the old engineers wanted to go.
It's interesting with these coaches because Heber Valley Railroad has the exact similar style of coaches. You can actually tell where the pantograph used to set on these cars. They used to be electric powered. And I think these cars came from back east on the Penn line.
Nevada, the original county seat located just east of Eureka, had burned, and so the county seat was moved to Ely. And to this day, nobody's quite sure whether Hamilton was accidentally set on fire or on purpose.
Watching the slack. Putting the brakes on. We're going through that overpass. It looks like a tunnel. I wonder more coal cinders are gonna come out. So we're hitting downgrade, so we're probably not gonna get any. Oh well, not that much of the coal cinders. There's the first tunnel we went through not too long ago. It's when we're hitting upgrade. And we're going through it again. Getting close to Ely.
made a perfect ball field. After several years of use, the tailings were saved and found to contain quite a bit of gold. The remark has been made that it is the only ball field in the world that is padded in gold. And the park itself is named after a former mayor of Cleveland, and now, when you're passing on the way up the hill, on the right-hand side is a small collection of buildings. This is the Renaissance Village. The Renaissance decided to purchase these cabins from American County in 2005, and each cabin was set up for a nationality here. Originally, these buildings were for railroad workers, and some of them the railroad yards have absolute need. This village is open on Fridays and Saturdays, and there's no left time to come up and visit. The village right next to the trail here is the old elementary school here in England. It was last renovated in 1938, but it was closed in 1995. There were small bridges to connect the building with the ball field next to here. And one of the volunteers who grew up here in town remembers the picture dressed by the principal reminded us to not throw rocks at passing orders. One interesting thing about the old school train, one of our staff members had a family that was all set to ride the train to high school in the end of 1933 to 1934 school year. However, the railroad canceled the school train, and all of the inbound travelers were quite disappointed to not have the right of passage right at the school. Yes, even over nearly 100 years ago, kids thought it was quite fun to ride a train to school. Again, if you didn't catch it on the way up the hill, that red, blue, and white trim.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We saw a lot of train action, especially the Heber Valley Railroad and Nevada Northern Railroad. Saw two different types of locomotives playing their keep. And thank you guys for watching. I see you next time on the next train video. Look for more exciting videos from TM Clancy Rail Action Videos.